Hi Cancer, Happy New Year. Welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your 2021 general overview. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you interested in my general or love readings for January, those are already posted on the channel. You can just check them out in the playlist section of the channel. As far as what we have here, what I did was actually pull cards for each of the houses of the zodiac relative to your sign. And we'll actually start the reading off by rolling some astrology dice to see where your main focus should be in those areas, and then we'll also pull an oracle card once we're done with the main spread. As far as the decks being used, for the primary spread we have the Tarot of the New Vision, and for the oracle card we're going to use the Wisdom of the Oracle. This is just a little something different I wanted to do for the new year. Hopefully you guys like it, but we'll get started. Alright, so first we'll roll these dice. Okay, so we have Saturn. So Saturn actually was in your 7th house for the past few years, and now it's moved on into your 8th house. So there could definitely be some significance around the Saturn transit there. We have Taurus energy, which is actually your 11th house, and also it's the natural ruler of the 12th house, so there could be some significance with 2nd house things for you guys too, as far as finances, possessions go. And we have 11, which is also Taurus energy for you guys because that's your 11th house. And yeah, this could just be saying that you're going to have a lot of focus on friendships, groups, hopes and wishes this year. So we'll keep that in mind as we go through the main spread. And speaking of the main spread, in the 1st house, you guys have 2 of Wands. So this is Aries energy here. So for some of you, this could just be saying that you might actually have a fresh start when it comes to your career. Obviously, we had Mars going through there forever, right? Because it had the retrograde. It's still there for a couple more days, and then it's finally going to move on into Taurus. But that could have just been what ignited that spark for some of you to maybe want that change when it comes to your career. But given that this is falling in your 1st house too, this could point to pretty much any area of your life. You just might be ready for a fresh start in general and actually might finally be ready to take action toward it this year. Alright, in the 2nd house we have 7 of Swords, which is Aquarius energy, and 4 of Pentacles, which is Capricorn energy. So the main thing that I'm getting with this, given that 2nd house again is mainly around finances, possession, self-worth, it could just be saying to be careful about investing with others this year, just with your financial dealings in general. I would say just be careful. And to me, that's what that 4 of Pentacles immediately after that could be saying with the 7 of Swords there, is because there could be some deception around when it comes to finances. This could be asking you to actually be, the way I usually think of the 4 of Pentacles isn't necessarily that the person's a miser, but more that they really are giving a lot of thought to where they invest their money, how they invest their money, their time, their resources. So it could just be saying to really think things over, watch out for people trying to propose get-rich-quick schemes, things along those lines. For example, we have Jupiter in your 8th house now, which could point to investments. So there probably will be a lot of opportunities there. But with Saturn there too, it could just be telling you to be very careful around which ones you accept and which ones you don't. So that's what I see there. All right, and probably not a good time to mix money and friendships either, I would say, this year. Okay, in the 3rd house, we have Justice, which is Libra energy, which is your 4th house. The Hanged Man, which I view as Pisces energy, which is your 9th house. And the Magician. So, interesting mixture of energies here. What this could be saying is this year you guys might actually be standing up for others. You could be a bit more outspoken if you feel like someone's being treated unjustly. You might actually take it upon yourselves. I feel like you'll really think it over. But eventually I do see you actually deciding to speak out on their behalf. Obviously you could be speaking up for yourselves too if you feel like you've been treated unfairly. For some of you, this could just be saying that you might also have something under wraps that you're not communicating about yet. So maybe a creative project, for example, since we see the baby in the background there. So that could be something that you're protecting, right? Thinking over, okay, when's the right time for me to launch this, right? Maybe even thinking that it might not be received too well, whatever it is. But then with the Magician finally taking that forward step to actually put it out there. And it's interesting to me that the crowds here almost resemble each other, right? With the hangman, we see they obviously don't look too happy. Looks like they're chastising this person. And then with the magician energy after that, looks like they're captivated by them. So this could even just be saying that, maybe if you've been held back in some way too around communications where people might have doubted you, this looks like you're going to be able to turn that around this year too. So pretty positive energy in third house for sure. All right. In the fourth house, we have the Two of Pentacles, which is Capricorn energy, the Three of Pentacles, also Capricorn energy, and the Ace of Wands. So the positive thing here with this in the fourth house, this could just be saying that some of you might be considering moving, possibly even just investing in renovations into your home. That's another way I could see it too. Possibly thinking of expanding your family. But whatever the case may be, it looks like, you're probably going to save up money for it, be responsible about it, really weigh out the options. Like, okay, you're not going to just recklessly throw money at something. And then I see you actually, what you do put your money toward, you're going to end up being satisfied with the end result. And actually, you're going to take action toward that as well. So pretty positive energy there. If there's been some instability within your family environment or home environment in general too, I do see you actually taking the action to resolve that and get that improved. And that definitely could have been the case. You guys had some pretty tough transits with all of the stuff that was going on in Capricorn and whatnot. So, and then Libra energy was making squares to it and everything. So there definitely could have been some, harsh energies going for you guys last year. All right, in the fifth house, we have the King of Wands, which is Leo energy, which is your second house, and the Ace of Swords, which is just general air energy. So, given that the fifth house could point often to romance and creativity, to me, it looks like this is you guys really putting yourselves out there, which I was kind of feeling with the third house energy and the first house energy as well, quite frankly. So this could just be a year where you guys are a bit more confident in yourselves, putting yourselves out there more, communicating what your needs are as well, as far as if it's around romance. But yeah, with creativity, I feel like this is saying that you're going to be getting a lot of ideas this year and actually taking action toward them and probably getting some positive recognition for them, which again makes me think of that third house energy we saw again. All right. In the sixth house, we have the World. So usually I view this as a bit of Saturnian energy, also North Node energy, and it usually represents completions, successful completions at that. So if this is around your work environment, for example, maybe you're getting some recognition there within the work environment. For some of you, this could be around your daily routines too. Maybe you've been, trying to kick some bad habits. Most people tend to try to do that around the new year as well. But if that's the case, it looks like this year you'll be successful with that. If there's a health routine, if you've had some health issues that you've been trying to shake, it looks like this would be a positive year to help you move forward with that as well. And if this is just pointing to your work environment in general too, it looks like there could be some positive shifts there as far as you might feel like you're actually more supported than you've been previously. All right, in the seventh house, we have the Five of Pentacles. So this is probably the main disappointing energy in this spread, I would say. But with this showing up in the seventh house, for most of you, this could even just be pointing primarily to the energy you're still recovering from. Like I said, with all the heavy energy that you guys had in your seventh house. I mean, Pluto was still there, but obviously having Saturn there for the past few years might have felt a bit rougher. So could just be saying that this is more of a residual effect where when it comes to partnerships and relationships, maybe you're a bit gun shy. It's certainly possible that you might have even left the connection behind. And now seeing that energy in the fifth house, you've learned those lessons. And now you're like, okay, now I'm actually going to be more expressive about what I want, right? Maybe put myself first more, not necessarily in a selfish way, but just so it's known that, hey, these are my wants and my needs. Not saying that you wouldn't also provide for them, but, putting that more out front instead of always putting the others first. So that's primarily what I see there. Now, I will say seventh house just points to partnerships and contracts in general. So this calls me back to what I was saying with the second house energy to, it looks like finances will be fine for you, but just try to watch out when it comes to investing. And like I said, especially with others too, like investing with friends, family, or whatever. Just try to be mindful around that and, really just do your research before doing so. I don't necessarily think it's going to be gloom and doom for all scenarios, but it could just be telling you to be diligent about how you do so. All right. In the eighth house, we have the Eight of Wands. So this is actually Sagittarius energy. And really, with this, to me, this is saying that you're, again, what I was feeling with some of these other cards we looked at as well, which is to say a lot of opportunities might be coming your way for investments. This is also around intimacy as well. So, for example, obviously, given those heavy transits we were talking about that you guys were going through in recent years, having some of those move on into more supportive energies could just be saying that now, all right, you might feel some of that heavy weight lifted off of you, and that could actually help improve intimacy. The fact that you guys seem to be a bit more confident and comfortable in your own skin and expressing what your needs and wants are could also help improve your intimacy. And obviously, if you're back out on the dating scene, maybe you'll be getting a lot of attention too. That's another way that that energy could be playing out. But overall, pretty positive there. All right. In the ninth house, we have the Knave of Wands. So this is the Page of Wands, basically. So to me, this usually represents taking action, possibly travel. So some of you might be planning some travel this year. If that's the case, it might even be long distance travel. Depending on where you are, that might sound impossible at this point, but things could lift as we get a little bit later on in the year. For some of you, this might even be deciding to go back to school, or possibly even if you might have just recently graduated from school, that's another way it could be playing out too, saying that now you're out there in the world going to try to get a job. But overall, this is a pretty positive energy here. It's usually a light, playful, and optimistic energy, and not being too heavily attached to any one viewpoint. All right. 10th house energy, we have the Ten of Cups. So this is Pisces energy here. So, definitely pretty positive energy. About as good as you could get, really, for the most part. But yeah, this could definitely just be saying that whether it's around your romantic relationships, you could actually have some completions there and some success there. So, like I said, even though that 7th house energy looks a little rough, given the 5th house energy and the fact that it looks like you guys are really just speaking out about what your wants are, I could definitely see as far as social status goes, this could point to you guys getting into a very successful, happy relationship. If this is around finances for you guys too, since also this could point to career, looks like you're gonna, again, like I was saying with the 6th house, I feel like you'll be feeling more supported this year. Now, it might be due to the fact that you guys did have to speak up, right? If you were being taken advantage of in some way. But through the process of that, if that's the case too, I feel like this is just saying that you have that support and just feel a lot better about how things are going. All right. In the 11th house, we have the Knave of Swords. So this is the Page of Swords. And 11th house, this was one of the energies that came up for you guys in the dice. So could be some significance here. It could just be saying that you might be mixing with new groups. But if that's the case, it looks like there's going to be a little bit of shyness around that, which is interesting because, like I said, a lot of what I see here points to you guys having quite a bit of confidence this year. 5th house energy as well. But, it could just be saying that you might be a little bit shy as far as opening up to others. And I could even partially see that as maybe that's where you might have started your energy with the 3rd house, but then progressed from that. So, like I said, especially like we were saying, if you did get a new job, for example, now you have a whole different group of people you might be interacting with in that field, right? Or if you move somewhere, which I was saying was a possibility for some of you, then maybe that's what's going to cause you to feel like, all right, well, now I have to get to know new people, so you could be a bit withdrawn there. I don't necessarily see it as a negative thing, though, but that's just what I'm seeing. All right. And in the 12th house energy, we have the 8 of Cups. So this is more Pisces energy here. And, 8 of Cups usually represents walking away from something in order to find something more fulfilling. We do see that 10 of Cups energy there too. So to me, this could just be saying that limiting beliefs that you might have held, you might be leaving those behind. For some of you, if you found like you were partying too much, or maybe you had some addictions that you were trying to kick, it looks like you have some success with that this year as well. Trying to think if anything else comes to mind. Well, for you guys, Pisces energy, which is the natural ruler of your 12th house, is the ninth house, and we're going to have Jupiter move in there for a bit. We have Neptune in there too, so that could help with some of those things too. And this could also just be saying, again, getting a lot of creativity flowing through you and wanting to take action toward those things as well. All right, I can't remember if I mentioned it or not, but at the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So this is Virgo energy. So to me, this represents refining something, whatever skill you might have, you're working on improving on that skill. And for you guys, Virgo energy is your third house communication. So that could be part of what it is too, right? Maybe you've been reevaluating how you communicate with others, possibly because of the struggles you might have had as you went through those heavy seventh house transits. Might have actually helped you look at, okay, how am I communicating? Am I really expressing myself? Is my point getting across? Reevaluating that and coming out of it in a more positive way. So, sounds like a pretty good spread overall. The last thing we'll do is we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here with some general advice, and we'll wrap up. Now, I did pre-shuffle this deck, and I'm just going to be looking for a jumper here. And if I shuffle for a while and nothing comes up, though, I'll just put the deck down and we'll pull a random card. But either way, I do want to wrap up the reading with at least one of these. But yeah, overall, like I said, it looks like a pretty positive year for you guys. The 7th house energy is probably the only one that's a bit tricky, but like I said, I feel for a lot of you that might even just be pointing to energy that you're just recovering from, given all of the energy I see around that. All right, yeah, so let me just put the deck down and we'll pull a card. All right, give me a few seconds to tune in and we'll pull one. Okay, we have message in a bottle. There's the artwork, and the number is 15. So, see what that has to say. Okay, it says communication, a sign, a Clayton, the ancient name for a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker, pointing the way to your highest good. The oracle's message. Spirit sends you signs when you ask for them, when you believe you will receive them, and when you allow yourself to become fluent in the language of symbols, oracles, and omens. They may come to you as a bird flying by, a logo on a truck, and a song on the radio. Expect confirmation that you're pointed in the right direction. Keep your ears open, for someone might say just the right thing that will give you the answer to your query. Today, your message is this: Spirit hears you, and the reply is favorable. So, definitely a pretty positive message there. Like I said, it looks like you're definitely going to have some confidence in general, so maybe that's going to be helping with that as well. The relationship message says you can expect someone to favor you with positive news. This could be in the form of a letter, phone call, or email. You are the intended receiver of this message, so stay open to what you learn. Only good will come of it in the end. The signs are all there. So, again, pretty positive message there. Like I said, your 7th house energy did look a bit rough, but the 5th house energy definitely looked pretty positive. 10th house energy as well. So, overall, I feel like relationships will be good for you guys this year, even if it doesn't look that way in the beginning. All right, the prosperity message says you are on target with your purpose and your passion. You are coming into alignment with your destiny, and Spirit wants you to know that you're on the right track. Expect a call, a new opportunity, or a message from an old friend or business contact that will lead you closer to your dreams and your greatest desires. Spirit has been listening to you. All right, so to be fair, I did say that I was feeling like this might not be the year to actually invest with others when it comes to friendships and money, mixing business and pleasure like that. But I will say the main thing that I at least still feel, even after reading that message, is that you guys just might have to be a bit discerning, as far as, like I said, the Four of Pentacles to me just really points more to someone who's really giving a lot of thought to where they invest their time, their money. And so if that's the case, just make sure that they're putting in their fair share as well. If you do partner up with someone, And with that eighth house energy, rather, with the Eight of Wands, it looks like there definitely will be a lot of opportunities coming your way too. So that could be part of what it is, where it could just be saying it's a matter of not trying to take on all of the opportunities, but really figuring out, all right, which ones work for me, which ones don't. All right. So overall, again, pretty positive spread. Hopefully it resonated with you guys. I'll see you all in a few weeks with the February readings, and we'll wrap up there. All right. Bye.